It. It says that I'm live. Peace and blessings, everyone, and welcome to Sankofa Now, your daily dose of African-centered learning. And I want to go ahead again and open it up to give thanks to all of those ancestors that came before us, that's fought long and hard for us to be here, that either sacrificed their life, their time, their dreams in order to make sure that the future would be able to succeed and thrive. And for those that are here with us now that are still fighting in order for us to live a life better off than what they had. And for the generations to come, may the futures at which we lay upon the foundation and the work that we are doing today for 7 generations indefinitely on, that they benefit from what it is that we're leaving behind. And I give great thanks. So right into it, and guiding light is true. I am your host, Nakia Victoria Porter. We got Lovely, Thrash, Davis, Powell, and some of you may say, why do you say all of those names? And it's a way to give thanks, not only when I say generally ancestors, but for those close, those names, those mothers and fathers that came before me, great grandmothers, great grandfathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, and great and continuing. Those of the names, the last names and the names that you know. And that is definitely a practice where we talk about pouring of libations and giving great thanks and honor to those that have came before us, but then also in practicing those that are here with us now, making a impact in the world. So with that, again, remember, I'm here to support you all, right? Increasing your appetite for knowledge of self. And so going right into it today, this is where we've completed 7 days. Yes. And I want to read some of the comments. I'm actually going to enable comments for this now. The first ones I didn't enable comments on because I was testing out the feature where it says this is available for children. And I think that makes sure that there's no type of negativity and other things like that as children are watching the videos. So now I'm going to make sure that I open up the comments section. And let's see, I think there's the option here of, because it says that there's one person on. Is there availability for you to chat? Pop out chat. Cool. Hi there. To interact a little bit more, and that if this is working, we'll continue to go from there, but to make it more engaging. And I got some great feedback that now, yes, these videos are going to be a little bit longer, but focusing on, we finished the 7 days, and I had a goal that I didn't share with everyone of doing this every day. A lot of people are like, that's ambitious, that's a lot. But what you have to understand for me is that I had a practice of procrastination or not being consistent. So I wanted to change that habit for myself because I realized that by talking with my friends and family, or even people that I don't know that well, have said that the information that I share is so, warming, it's inspiring, it's motivational, it's transformational to get them to the next point in their lives. And that meant that I had to buckle down and find out a way to be able to share a message with others. And I'm going to share my vision again of why I do what I do. And hopefully that can serve as a mode of support and encouragement, but then also that driving home of action. Because again, the last 7 videos focus on Sankofa and really going back and getting things that you've forgotten, going over your childhood and figuring out ways that you could learn more about yourself, take the different practices that are in place to apply them to your lives. So not only learn about them, but apply them. So I provided resources that I've looked up that were helpful just to give you a taste of some of the things that I've done over the years in order to learn more about myself so that I could better serve the communities at which I needed my help. So, with that, what I'm going to do is go right in. I want to read some of the feedback that I got from a friend, and I say a mentor, which I was so grateful for his feedback. And so the feedback that he gave, well, one, just read it when he reads this, just know it was from you, and I'm so thankful. It says that, your innate desire to both learn and share is amazing. I am enamored by your drive and desire to give back. It is not everyone who is given a spirit of service to others, and it's wonderful to see you embrace yours. Thanks for sharing. And feedback, he said he loved my energy. Daily is a bold start, but that I have the energy and passion for it. Considering sitting still. So we'll see this in the exercise going forward. And this also applies to anyone else, you doing your work as well. It's good to get the feedback, see where you can apply it, right? Because those are the things that will help you to grow. And then loving the information that's being shared, and great that I'm actually researching it to share with you all, that there's dialogue invited, but the comments was disabled. So that's what I talked about before, because it was disabled because I had set it specifically for children to be able to watch those first 7 videos. And then the practical application, and you know, great and willing to use myself as a reference. And that all that practice comes from, right, my leadership style of leading by example. And so for those that do know me, I cheerleading coach, gymnastics, dance, and a teaching assistant with computer science and a lot of different things. So what I want to offer up to you all this time is to share a little bit more about my story as we transition into the vision. And so for me, and sharing with you all, I've been a cheerleader for life. Cheerleader since I was young age, probably around 6. But even before then, my parents would tell me that I always loved to dance. My parents, my family, my friends, brothers, siblings, that I always loved to dance. I love to write. I love to sing. And I love to, really just love on people. Say I give some of the best hugs if you ever have the opportunity. And just really caring, loving, and to remove, judgment, and, to support others. And when I say support others, if you don't know, when we talk about cheerleading, I'm not just talking about, yeah, we're on the side, woo-hoo, but really talking about motivating people from the inside out. Right. So there are a couple of sets of cheers. And so my origin starts I was born in DC, grew up in the inner city of Alexandria, Virginia, and we had this amazing community of support and growing up. And this feeds into my vision of what I want to leave behind for my children, and what these videos serves a purpose of as we continue to go along. And in this community, even though we may not have had access to what others, outside of the poverty line would deem as crucial, or other things that you need in order to be successful, we really appreciated the value of family. We really appreciated the value of quality time with each other. We really appreciated doing the best that you can with what you had. And what that meant for me coming up is that I had so much love and support going into the world, being in school, that I never felt alone. I always felt as though I had the support system that I needed. And we constantly saw each other. We constantly, worked together with each other. And with that in mind, when it came into me doing activities like dance and drama. These were all different now creative ways for me to express my inner spirit, my gifts and talent with the world on a daily basis. And when I came across cheerleading at Mount Vernon Elementary School, and some amazing coaches and love during this time, what I found was that there was this life and energy in this creative expression term cheerleading for me. And sometimes we'll say, spirit squads. There would be a chant like, we got spirit, yes we do. We got spirit, how about you? We got spirit, yes we do. We got spirit, how about you? We've got more, 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 right? And with that energy and building that up, it was something there when we talk about competitiveness, not in a way that I have to take anything from you or that I'm trying to oppress you in any way, but that I'm trying to charge you to be better than where you are now. And I'm going to give you a fight, right? A fight that I'm going to do the best that I can. And we're going to go at this. But even after we had like cheerleading competition, things like that, we came together and loved each other. We loved each other. We wanted to see each other thrive. We wanted to see each other do great, even though we may have been from different schools. And that example to me is the goal of these videos. The goal of these videos, as I answer the question from the last time, right, of the question that I sent for you all from last time was, what world do you want the future generation to live in? Imagine it. Feel the emotions of being in the world you see. Share it with others and then see what you can do each day to make it R-E-A-L-I-T-Y. Make it real, right? And so I'll share with you now this vision. This vision that I see, there is no war, right? There is no war because the idea of not having enough is gone. There's enough resources for us to share. There's ways for us to figure out what it is that we can do in order to extend the things around us. How do we think in a solution-oriented mindset to create the abundant life that's already around us? What would it take in order for us to listen, right? Use our empathy in order to connect with each other, in order to love one another. And a lot of that stems from the knowledge of self. Because when we feel, and I have this example, when I feel as though I have to compare myself with someone else, I'm always going to be behind. I'm always going to feel as though I'm not in the right place. I'm always going to feel that I'm in lack because I'm trying to chase after somebody else's dream that does not align with my own passions, my own vision, my own goals, right? And now I'm trying to be someone other than me. And for those, whether your religious background or other things like that, your creator, right? Think about if you came and there was a agreement that when you come here, you're supposed to be the best that you can possibly be, which means you have to find out what that is for you. You have to find out what your purpose is, whether if your parents gave it to you or not. Now, each day is an opportunity for you to go back using the principles of Sankofa, to go back and learn about your life. How did the challenges that you've experience mold you into where you are now? And now with the plans in place, where do you want to go with those things? So I'll give you a perfect example of this war and this fighting and things that we're doing, that if you look at the result, right, as a result of this fighting, this war, and all of this, chaos and people hurting themselves, not loving themselves, comparing themselves with others, and going through this consistent battle inside, the war being inside, we're now seeing it more and more of the war being reflected outside because of how we're treating ourselves. So I'll give you an example with my children and watching them. And the idea of some of the gifts that we have said, hey, yeah, this is yours. And, you can play with this and other things like that. Not thinking of putting ownership to a particular thing, a material item, that if we say these are resources that are available to us all, and how do we go about sharing these resources with each other? There's a particular purpose that is set for this particular tool. And in order to work together, we have to communicate, we have to listen. And when we listen and we realize that we are one and the same, and that just like the body, if our body is constantly fighting with itself, it just starts to tear down from the inside out. And so the amazing functions that are inside of the body, right? The brain, the mind, we talk about your hands, your skin, the organs that handle digestion, right? Your heart pumping blood, your ability to, breathe in and the air circulating through and hydrate and providing the oxygen through your cells and for them to continue to regenerate. There's an amazing musical, harmonic piece of life happening here that for us to be able to sit in and say, I am living the abundant life. What does it mean to be abundant? I have all that I need. There is nothing that I want. And while I'm here, the gifts that I have to share, like mine, of being empathetic with others, being able to feel how others feel, being able to sense their emotions, being able to connect them with resources to help them see that when they look in the mirror, that is an amazing person right there staring right back at them, and they have value to share with the world. And then to have the confidence to be them 100%. And I know, look, I've worked in corporate settings. I'm working in one now, and I see how broken people are, that they're just in this churn of doing the next thing, but they're not really living their lives to the fullest. And with that, even if their inspirations to help others, that is the service that drives them, and that is the value that they bring in knowing that their life is important. And when we don't share that with ourselves, it is very hard to share that with others. Maya Angelou said that she, based off of the behavior, she watches people. So talk about love. People say that they love each other. But if you are unable to love yourself, right, you can't love me. So in this journey of self-knowledge, self-discovery, it has to be the things that wish to see in the world, a better world. You see and think about the feelings. Well, people are, they see each other, they smile at each other, they engage with each other, they genuinely care for each other. And if they have something that can be of service to someone else, they share it. When we go to talk with each other, we listen completely, intently, right? With true intention to say, I'm here for you, I'm present for you. We're going to work together with this. And a big part of that is the judgment that we've laid on ourselves, that we continue to lay on others, because these are things that we have not worked on ourselves. And look, I know that has been a big thing for me, of seeing someone, because we're taught this in school. You judge, hey, you see a shape, an apple, orange, this person's fat, this person's skinny, these other things. And then we think we have it all figured out. But we don't take the time to actually get to know the other people, because we're not taking the time to get to know ourselves. So take this time, the vision of there's peace, there's harmony, right? We say peace, there's no war in the mind. Take the time to feel what it feels like to glow from the inside out, to not be without, right? To love yourself unconditionally. That feeling of calmness that washes over, no matter what may be going on in the world. And as you're able to take that calmness, that peace, and you know what? I have value. I am valuable. I value what it is that I bring in the world. My love, my smile, my light, my ability to connect with people, especially in corporate settings. At first, I didn't think it was valuable. So naturally, when I go around other people and I say, they don't think it's valuable, they don't think it's valuable. But really, I didn't think it was valuable. And the more and more I started to look back through my life and see how I've impacted others to see the value within themselves, the war mindset shifts into an abundant mindset. And now people see that they have exactly what it takes to contribute to the world because out of all the people in the world, everybody has a unique gift. And every day people die, they leave this earth, and a lot of them leave with the gifts and talents, right, that they have in them. Versus, Oprah said, don't leave anything. Use all your services, your gifts, your talents until you are done. And so those others that come in and say, hey, my purpose is to find out what my purpose is, find out what my gifts are, find out what my talents are, and how I can be a service to lift the vibration of this earth up to another level, to take it to the next space, to the next step. Just like if you saw a plant and say, you know what, plant, I want you to grow to the next level. So I'm going to nurture you. I'm going to water you. I'm going to care for you. I'm going to guide you, give you the light that you need. This is what we're doing for our own internal seeds. And the more that we do it, the less we see opposition, the less we see those trying to hurt us from the outside, and knowing that we're all contributing to see what's possible. So with that, I have a list of resources to share with you all. So my vision of, we say, heaven on earth. And this is something I saw with someone else. Yeah, we already have war. We already have all those things. And we see the impacts of those things now, right? So let's try something new. Let's make it fun. Imagine the new world, imagine your new reality. You come in, there's quality time with your children, with your family. You get to travel, see the world, connect with people that you normally wouldn't connect with. You see them on a spiritual level right away. I am you, you are me, and we're here to work together. Each of us has a particular function that we do, and those functions come together. They work well together. And so we know what those things are, and we value each and every person's contribution, right? And we love each other by loving ourselves and are able to share that love inside out. And that it starts a ripple effect of other people waking up to say, you know what? I'm not you. I'm me. I love who I am. I love what I have to offer to the world. And now I'm going to spend each day figuring out how I can contribute to making the world a better place. Making the world a better place, better than those that had it before us, and making a turning it around to leave it better for the children that come after us so they can continue to take it to the next level, building up, build up. And they feel warm growth of light from the inside out that's growing so radiantly. Okay? Hold that thought, that love, that peace, that harmony. Take a deep breath in, hold it for 4, exhale, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. One more deep breath. Hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale and hold for 4. Holding that space, making that space for you. Okay? So now some resources to share with you all that I've looked up on, right? And this is a collection. So I talk about African-centered learning. It doesn't say African-centered with the means of canceling out everything else in the world. It means it shows the connection with the root and origins in Africa and the connection with everything else around it, right? And pulling those things together. So I have this, right? The resources. We have Habakkuk and 2:3, and this is a Bible verse. And so I apologize if I didn't pronounce it correctly, but it says, "For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay." Another one is, if your vision is for a year, plant wheat. If your vision is for a decade, plant trees. And if your vision is for a lifetime, plant people. An African proverb. Vision quests should be continuous. This is like this. It's going to continue to grow. Like the vision that I've been seeing doing motivational videos since last year, and I started and I stopped, but it was like, I want to keep doing this. So I continue to refine the vision, listening and receiving. That's another African proverb. And then vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Japanese proverb. Every day is a messenger of God. Russian proverbs. Seeing is not always believing. Martin Luther King Jr. And so with these additional resources, I say over, today, look at these, pull these out, see which one, resonates with you. Look and pull from different resources, see what resonates with you. Okay? And so with that, that's why I have the call to action section. Call to action. Let's take action on a vision. All right. So it says, if you look forward and think about the effect you want to have, what does that look like? Can you imagine one example, anecdote you would share when asked, has your, put in your vision or your gift or your talent for the world, made a difference? This was from, I say, a great mentor, Charles. Thank you. You know who you are. And taken out with you all, okay? And remember, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely. On these accounts, broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. Again, that's from Mark Twain. So this one, it was longer, a little bit more about me, why I'm doing these videos, or talking about, your knowledge of self, caring for yourself, loving for yourself, so we can see the ripple effect out into the world. So I am your host, Nakia Victoria Powell-Porter Davis-Thrash-Lovely. And remember that knowledge is power. It is powerful, especially knowledge of self, right? So with that, be brilliant, be true, be you. Peace, family.